Welcome back to Mark's workshop. Getting back on my 12-2K build. I've had a bit of an issue with the fuel system. This rail that I had was an old one. It was actually originally full of like mud, like wasp mud in it, but this braided line here is leaking like a sieve. It's just, as soon as you put pressure on it, it is pissing out through the actual through the braid itself. So I'm going to pull that apart now and see if we can, what it is, and I'm hoping it's just the actual whole section is stuffed, because it's jammed the floats open on the rear of the bowl and it's just been pissing in fuel. We had it running. I've still got to clean it all up, but I'll go through it again. And I've had the boys, Dane from Corn Fed Boost, Wardy the flat earther, over helping me the other day. We've actually got it so it starts off the key, everything here. So I've just got to go through it. I can't remember which one was which, but that's the main power wire to the ignition. This one was to the fuel pump from memory. This one here is for the charging of the battery from the alternator. This one here is going to be for the light, but I've just taped that up so it doesn't short out. But yeah, so at the moment I've got to pull this apart. I'll try and do a bit more video wise and try and get this sorted, because yeah, it was running. The only other problem we've actually had, hasn't been started probably in about a month, had a bit of a rattle in the front end. Had oil pressure, good oil pressure, everything was going fine, and all of a sudden the rattle would just go away. It didn't sound like a lifter, it sounded really weird. So that's something else I've got to look at now. But yeah, hopefully get that sorted. But yeah, back on the fuel line, fix all the leaks that were coming out. It was just spraying fuel out between the braid. So yeah, we'll get onto that and we're on to the next part. Thank you. All right, so I've got the fuel line apart. It has definitely got shit in it. I don't know if you can see it there, but there's still some more mud that I was talking about that come out of the end of it. So there's that, but if you really look, you can't see it without a torch. But there is braid hanging out inside the line around here. Don't know if it's that end or that end, but yeah, when you really look at it, put the torch down, it's definitely got braid hanging out. So see if I can find a bit of braid or pipe. I'll have to go and buy something, and we'll extend that and new piece in there, and hopefully that will fix all that up. But yeah, so that's definitely that issue. Yeah, as I said, look how dirty it is. That's my own stupidity for not pulling it all apart and checking. So yeah, I'll come back and update on that very soon and get that all back together. Right, okay, I found two old dash 8 fittings, bit of line that I cut off, some pipe I had here. So I'm just going to put that in between to take up for that. I've actually just cleaned all these out, just ran them through the parts washer and cleaned all the shit out, and a lot of dirt that was still in there, obviously through that pipe. It's just gunked up, I didn't know, my fault. But yeah, so I just got these old fittings. I am going to try and find my other fittings which has more line in it, but I can't remember where it is. So this is the quickest fix, so I can get it going again. Then we'll get it back on the car and just check the bowls and hopefully get it started up. All right, so. Okay, I've made the fuel lines back up to go into the carburetor. So I said had some old dash 8 fittings. They normally have a little like a washer that goes on either end. They didn't have them. I couldn't find any, so that's all right. We'll put that back in. That should be, my calculations are right, it was 235 mil from center to center with the bowls. So we'll do that. One thing I didn't get to do it, just didn't do it, but on the actual fuel, for the vents, I've actually just chucked an extra hose clamp on here, because when you go to try and take the hat off, it actually, well, it moves out of the way and it fucking pulls this tube out. So hopefully that doesn't come undone, which I don't think it will. But yeah, so I've just put the another little hose clamp up on here. So now we can, oh sorry, didn't know how to do it one hand while filming. close it up in there. So I've got to just get that over. There it is. It's on now. Come over here. That's on. That's on. I do have to make up a little washer to go on the top for now. This will be fine. Just check that. I'll tighten that up in a second, but yeah, now I'll stick all this back in, get that all lined up, do it all up, get the regulator back on, just there under all this shit that I still got to neaten up yet. But yeah, I'll do that now and back onto the next section, try and get it started again. Try and figure out what that noise is, the rattle coming from down here. I hope it's not a lifter or a bearing, but yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, on to the next part. The drama was happening yesterday. So with the fuel system, originally was going to run, this is just a cheap Holly black copy, so it's going to run that, which is like 140 gallons per hour pump. I ended up putting an EFI pump in it. This is just an eBay thing, which was like 380, if it's gallons or litres per hour. But with high pressure compared to low pressure pump. And yeah, as soon as I put the carb hat back on, as soon as I do that, or even if I have the carb hat off and I wind pressure into it to try and get the gauge to work, just overrides the needle and seats. It's got 130 needle and seats in it for the E85. I don't know if going to 150s is going to be better or not. I will try that, but as soon as I put positive pressure into the system from the turbo, when fuel pressure is low, it just starts flooding. It just obviously puts way too much pressure into the vent pipes. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't understand why. I'm up on turbos, and this stuff is my first go at it. But yeah, so I think I might put the original pump back in, and I put this gauge in. It didn't even move. I think the gauge might be screwed. That's the factory gauge that come with it. It does show about 10 psi, but we need less than that at idle. As I said, I did clean all this stuff out. It was full of shit, so that's all fixed. But yeah, I'll definitely be looking at sorting fuel pressure wise, and might go back to what I originally wanted, see if that works. If not, I'll definitely be googling some websites and things and try and get a bit of information out of people on what to do, because it's so close. Literally all I have to do is hook up a throttle cable, get rid of all this shit, clean it up, hook up a throttle cable, and this thing drives. So, but it won't drive if it keeps flooding. I can't do it that way. So yeah, you've got to look at that, and I'll get on to the next piece and yeah, go from there. Right, thank you. Not good. As soon as you give it positive pressure, it floods the shit out of it. So that's something we're gonna have to fix, and yeah, it's not good. Don't know why it would do that, but yeah, as soon as it gives positive pressure to the bowls, it just floods it. So have to go on to the next one, see what we can do. But this is the end of this little saga at the moment till I figure that out. And everything's great. Had that noise in the front, turned out to be the fan belt making heaps of noises, so new one on, because it actually rolled, so I put a new one on, it took it away. But yeah, I'll have to, as I said, figure stuff out. But hopefully this is just a bit of a catch up for everybody. If you like to, you know, subscribe it, and if you don't like it, tell me whatever. Tell me what do you think's happened with the carburetor. Maybe it's making too much boost down low, I don't know. I should actually check the boost gauge and see what it does, but yeah. Alright, so on until the next one, and yeah, thanks for watching. Talk to you later on. Bye-bye.